Okay, a North Texas chef is bringing Texas barbecue to the national stage this season on Food Network's BBQ Brawl to compete for the title of Master of Q. So he is with me this morning. Meet Titan McLaughlin, the Texas Titan. Good morning to you. Now that is quite a title.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, Paige. Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, congratulations on getting on. It is a hot competitive field out there, especially on that kind of national competition. What was it like when you found out that you were going to be competing and that you were actually on Team Bobby Flay?
That was super exciting, right? And I've been a big fan of Bobby Flay since I was in culinary school about 25 years ago. So when I got picked first to be on Bobby's team, that was pretty much a very exciting moment for me. Yeah,
I thought it was, and I love the fact that you're bringing Texas to the stage. You know, you got to represent.
Yeah, well, Texas barbecue is barbecue.
All right, so and Texas has a really strong reputation nationwide. So I'm curious about what makes Texas barbecue different from, say, like Kansas City barbecue.
Well, so Texas barbecue is more about the focus on the beef and the proteins and the meat. Around the nation, more barbecue is more focused on the sauce, right? And so we really focus on beef and brisket, this gigantic beauty.
Look at that thing.
That's really our focus. And, you know, I mean, for me, Memorial Day, I kind of got a little left over. So, you know, I mean, it's a big piece of meat. It's hard for me to find enough friends to feed everybody.
Oh my gosh, well, call me. We can find enough friends right here, in fact. So let's talk about, why don't you make something up for us? What are we going to be
Very good.
Today?
We're going to make some brisket nachos with this leftover brisket, and then we're going to make some sliders with a little bit of blue cheese and some caramelized onions. I
think because after Memorial Day, we do have a lot of these leftovers, and it's nice to kind of repurpose them in a creative way, so go ahead.
Absolutely. You know, we got like a 16-pound brisket here. It's hard to use it all up.
Right.
But,
especially in the first setting.
Right.
Yes.
So I got a little bit of our smoked beef tallow that we're going to heat up this brisket in.
Oh, it already smells so good.
And while I'm doing this, Paige, I'm going to need you to build these nachos here.
Okay.
So we're going to put a little bit of cheddar cheese.
Alrighty.
You're in charge. You make the decisions.
Wow, are you sure about that?
I'm absolutely, I believe in you.
Okay, well, you probably haven't seen this show that often then. Okay, all right, so here we go. So this is the cheddar cheese right here.
That is our smoked cheddar.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to be pretty generous with this sucker.
That's good.
Is that all right? You know, like kind of the whole thing. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah.
Here we go. Just dump. I'm going to do. Love it.
We got some cotija.
Ooh, I love this kind of cheese too. And the thing about nachos that's so great is that it can be like kind of everything in the kitchen sink in your nachos.
Oh, you bet. You bet.
And it's a perfect way. So
from here, Paige, this is a little bit of our queso, right?
I love your white queso.
Smoked white cheddar queso. We smoke the cheddar in-house, and then we make the queso from that, right? And you need a lot of that.
You definitely need a lot of that, okay? And then you're going to do this brisket next?
Okay, we're going to add some jalapenos.
Okay,
I got it, right?
Add a little spice to the whole matter here. I love it. Tell me about your restaurant. I want to hear more about that.
So
it's in Farmers Branch, right?
It's in Farmers Branch, right? We're in the gallery area. We focus on Central Texas cooking techniques, right? And so we are...
What is Central Texas cooking techniques? What does that mean?
Low and slow.
Okay.
And the beauty of the beef, right? And we're focusing on primarily that. You know, my background is more in Central Texas
and
style.
You come from a fine dining background, too.
Yeah, and I also come from a fine dining background, and so that's a big focus for us, too. You know, I mean, we treat the food like we would in a fine dining restaurant, and kind of more like with a little bit of love and some care to everything
I'm glad
we
that
do.
you brought that up, because even if it may be more casual dining, we were talking nachos here, still the ingredients you've really put a lot of love into, a lot of care into, and that's what really makes the flavor really sing.
Yeah, I mean, what we do for a living is a pretty beautiful thing, right? You know, and it's a very caring and loving thing to do for people.
All right.
You know, invite you into our place and cook for you. You got to trust me, you know, and it means a lot to us.
I trust you a lot, especially when you have extra cheese on a nacho.
Yeah, so we have these brisket nachos.
My trust for you has evolved even more. All right, what are we making next?
So now we're going to make the sliders, right? And I'm just going to add a little bit of the most handsome sauce you've got, that barbecue sauce, warrior sauce, got my picture on it.
Okay, you got to spill some tea. You are in Team Bobby Flay, and spoiler alert, last night's episode, womp womp, he was eliminated.
Yeah.
I already say, unfair. What have you got to say about that
I will
nonsense?
tell you, I've been a big fan of BBQ Brawl since it first came on. I've seen every episode. In my personal opinion, this is maybe the worst episode I've seen.
Really?
Look, yeah, because I went home. You know, but,
That's exactly right.
But I went home.
What is that about?
I was a challenge against Blake. Blake's a great guy. He's a very good person. Anyone who's gotten to know Blake knows that he is a wonderful human being. I'm actually very happy for Blake. It's a big deal for Blake to beat somebody as awesome as me.
Yeah, but they got it wrong.
You know, yeah. Sometimes the
let's
judges
just
get
be
it wrong.
honest.
Sometimes the judges don't get it right.
They don't get it right. Okay, so I've got to ask you, people have a lot of hot sports opinions about Bobby Flay. What was it like being on his team?
He's a great guy.
You can just tell me.
You know, he really is a fantastic dude. You know, I mean, the environment there at the show is just absolutely phenomenal. Manit, Brooke, all of the people on the show are just
and
awesome
Brooke and
people.
Bobby are now this hot
They
item.
are.
at this point.
They're a very hot item. They're a very hot item. I'm happy for them. They're nice
awesome.
together.
All right, so is there something you can tell us about being on this show that may surprise viewers, that happens maybe behind the scenes that we don't see?
All right, so I will tell you, like, one thing that very much surprised me. If you've watched the show before, you see that Carson Kressley seems as though he is somewhat like the comedy relief, right? When you get on set, Carson is a big part of the production.
Is he really?
And he is kind
He's
of
got
actually,
his hands in everything?
He's in charge.
All
he's
right.
telling Bobby where to stand, and he's telling him what to do.
That's
and
right.
so it's, you know, and I was very impressed by Carson.
Well,
yeah.
I'm impressed by you. Thank you so
thank
much
you
for
so
being
much,
here.
babe.
To me, you can catch BBQ Brawl on Food Network and streaming on HBO Max. And of course, you can also visit Cross Buck Barbecue right here in Dallas to taste Chef Tim's barbecue for yourself. I appreciate it.